Good afternoon, G-Force. Thursday. Been off live stream here the last several days. I'll just bring you up to speed. And yes, we all face uncertainty, doubt, worry, fear. And I was in that space earlier this week, up until this morning. And what had happened is I've got something on behind my ear as a growth, and I've been worried about having it looked at until my wife encouraged me to look at it. So I was in a state of worry and fear and doubt. But it's only through gratitude when I really took a moment and got back into the book of how do you deal with uncertainty. The first thing I was doing is couldn't see what it looked like, but my wife says, I think you should go see the doctor about that. And I said, well, it's just probably this or that, no big deal. But I started doing a little research, and I got on about skin cancer, started looking at the pictures, and I got even more worried, more fearful, all those things, all those emotional things. And I got in a funk because I was avoiding going to the doctor. So the other morning, in between a couple of appointments, I went to the urgent care, got my appointment scheduled with my doctor, got it examined, and boy, I tell you what, he did the examination, and he just shared with me that it wasn't anything to be concerned about, other than it was more than likely a bacterial infection, that a pore had gotten infected. And what a relief it was. But the reason I wanted to talk about that is I went into a big funk, that doubt and worry and all that. And I'm just going to bring up this picture again, because it's only when you recognize your feelings. This is what I teach here. I'm going to take this banner off. Is I was in a state of worry, doubt, fear, and I was full of anxiety. And it's ignorance. When we don't have information, it keeps us in that emotional state. And I was, through avoidance and putting things off, I was suppressing it. And it moved me to a state of depression. I'm thinking the worst case. I lost my energy, moved me into a state of doubt and worry. But guess what I did? Guess what I did? I picked up the book and became a student of what I teach, and used gratitude. No matter what the outcome was, I have to still be grateful for this moment, because it's still the most valuable thing that I have, and make the most of it. And, I put myself in that state of worry deeper, because I immediately went to the place of worst case scenario. Looked at those pictures about skin cancer and all that type of crazy stuff, because I've been exposed to a lot of sun in my life. I grew up in California. I worked at a lake resort, way too much sun in my life. I know that. So I'm always a concern about that situation of lots of sun exposure. And so the last several days, that uncertainty, getting to the doctor, in between scheduling the appointment, my mind was still racing. But what brought me down and brought me back to a better state was the gratitude principles. How do you use gratitude for not knowing what the future will bring? Something possibly negative. And so I went back into those principles, and boy, I tell you what, it shifted everything. Didn't change anything. Still concerned, but it changed my level of anxiety to a place that I could operate. Because lots of times I felt myself stuck. I felt myself just pulling the covers up over my head and saying, this might be something that I don't want to deal with. But in reality, all good. The good news is it's just an infection, and I'm on antibiotics. But I took some time to really reflect how I was responding and how gratitude. I noticed when I went to a place of gratitude, how that anxiety subsided, my worry, doubt, and fear subsided, made me calm. I couldn't believe it when I went to the doctor's appointment. Of course, they do the blood pressure and all that stuff, and I was expecting my blood pressure to be shooting out the roof, but it came back totally in normal ranges. But the day before, I knew my blood pressure was up, man. My face was red. I could feel my vibration, my pulse, and I could feel that blood pressure accelerated. But through gratitude, I felt my physical well-being shrink down. And when I got to the doctors, I was expecting still seeing a spike in my blood pressure. And the nurse said, your blood pressure is all good and blah, blah, blah. And you're did a couple of little tests. And so gratitude does work because I sensed it. The doctor came in, did the examination, and boy, another sense of gratitude came in. Having a great doctor, feeling grateful that the doctor looked at that situation and gave me a prognosis that took me out of my fear and my worry. And as he was telling me about what it was, probably, and I'm going to prescribe some, because you got a bacterial infection, we're going to cure this thing from the inside out. Is I'm going to give you some real heavy duty antibiotics. And he told me what the side effects were and expect them in that first day of taking them. And he was right on. I tell you what, it knocked my legs out from underneath me. But I was grateful for that experience. And that may sound weird, but because it knocked me out yesterday afternoon. He says probably your first 2 or 3 capsules of the antibiotics you ain't know anything, but later in the day, just be prepared for headache, nausea, some other symptoms that we won't talk about, and lethargic, wanting to go to sleep. I had it all. I pretty much had to crash and burn most of yesterday afternoon. And today, through gratitude, I was still a little bit under the weather. I woke up this morning still with the headache, still feeling a little nausea, feel still a little bit under that lack of energy. But I went to a meditation process of gratitude because I had a meeting this morning and I could not be in a state of lack of energy. So I really focused on the gratitude, elevated myself up. My mind got clear. My physical well-being dramatically improved. And I was able to handle that meeting very effective. So it's through gratitude. It works. It works. Because what I coach is when we recognize where we are in any emotional or vibrational states, it's usually because of ignorance. I was ignorant. I didn't know what I had. So I went to worry and doubt. I moved to fear. Then anxiety kicked in. I suppressed it. I said, I'm not going to deal with this. And I got depressed, thinking about the worst. But I started practicing what I teach to myself. And I tell you what, I am so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful to have a doctor I'm so grateful for the medication. I'm so grateful that I was able to get through the symptoms of the side effects by using gratitude. And I know my body is probably getting adjusted to the medication, but I noticed immediately by shifting my gratitude how everything changed for the better. And so I'm so grateful. So gratitude works. For anybody that's really wants to reach out to me and talk about how gratitude works, I do can consult. Here's my calendar, my email, and everything's there. Love to talk with you. Also, I want you to mark your calendar, turn on your notifications. I'm launching another program with 3 other dynamic coaches on May 1st. And I will be bringing that information to everybody next week as we fine tune some of the information we want to put out to you. But it's going to be on a Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 2-hour live virtual training. Chris Natsky, Nikki Gadjemi, and Phil Pinto and myself, we're going to be talking about a program that we're launching is called the Science of Success series. This is the second time that we're putting this on. So the details are coming. Turn on your notifications. If you feel like you're stuck, the goals and objectives that you're looking to accomplish in life aren't coming, this seminar is for you. If you answered yes to that, you need to look into what we offer. It is a paid event. It'll be $97. Normally, we would charge $197 for that 2-hour event, but there's going to be an additional $800 of additional bonuses for anybody that registers. So just mark your calendars, turn on your notifications, get the details. I'll be putting the details up on through my Facebook on that as well. So today, I'm so grateful for this moment. I am grateful for the positive outcome. I'm grateful for medication and the science. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for the doctor. I'm grateful for all. It shifted everything this week because it was a tough week emotionally in that state of ignorance, not knowing. And it's only through awareness with gratitude did it get me over the hump through the last several days. So I'm excited. I'm at a different level, and I know what I went through. If the prognosis wasn't positive, I believe that gratitude would have shifted me to a different place to deal with that negativity, that deal with that circumstance in a different way. So no matter what state you are in today, practice the principles of gratitude. I encourage you, anybody out there, get this book. But I think of all the things I've read and studied about gratitude, this by far is probably the most direct, impactful book you can use and start applying the principles of gratitude in all areas. Actually, it's a workbook. It's a program of 21 days of creating an emotional prosperity. Key words there, emotional prosperity. I was not in a good state emotionally, but only through the principle of gratitude did I prosper, did I gain energy, did I gain a better perspective about my life, about my health through these principles. Gratitude does work. So I wanted to share that today, my personal story on that. Take time to share this out because somebody may need these words of encouragement, the wisdom that's in this book, the principles are in this book. And so with that all said, I'm grateful for you. If you jumped on here, is watching us, share it out. tag your friends, turn on your notifications for next week. I'm changing my format, just might as well put this out there too. I was doing dailies, it's just the nature of what's going on. I still be doing G-Force. I'll be doing every Monday, every Wednesday, and my interviews on Fridays. I will try to get Tuesdays and Thursdays in, depending on what my client loads are on those Tuesdays and Thursdays. But G-Force is still going to continue. So just continue to tag yourself, turn on your notifications for that. I also will be bringing in my wife to co-host G-Force as well. So I can't wait to have her participate. She was my very first interview in G-Force, the most influential person in my life. And you'll see why when she comes on and starts sharing her wisdom through the principles of gratitude, her perspective. So with that all said, everybody have a great day. This moment is the best moment in your life. Cherish it, no matter what's going on. No matter what's going on. Have a great day. It is with gratitude, G-Force.